What if I told you that expats are worse than Russian people? A lot of people come to my channel and ask me how Russian people are. Are they accepting? Are they racist? Are they people that do not want foreigners in their country? Are they going to make me feel uncomfortable? Are they cold? But a lot of people forget about another group of people, the expats. Today we are going to be discussing why a lot of expats are making other expats feel uncomfortable due to the color of their skin, or perhaps because of where they reside from. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, AfroLove, roaring truths to preserve your pretty voice. If you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, or leave a comment. It is absolutely free. Getting into the topic at hand today, we are speaking about elitism in Russia in terms of the expat community. The question of if Russian people will accept expats that come into Russia is a good one, but we never address the fact. We never ask this question, do other expats accept other expats? I never thought of it in this way because we are all coming into a different country. We are all combining for one cause. We're seeking a better life. We are seeking an opportunity to do better. We're seeking an opportunity to have a fresh start. A lot of people come to Russia with the mindset of rerouting their lives, putting it in a scenario when they are comfortable and perhaps they can achieve things that they wouldn't have achieved in their own countries. But I've noticed that expats have developed their own hierarchy system, especially expats that come from the first world countries. I'm not going to speak for people. I'm going to speak for myself. I love to allow people to come onto my channel and share their experiences because I do not like to make generalizations because everybody's experience is different. But I will be talking about my experience. My experience in Russia is an interesting one because people always ask me, do you experience racism as a black man in Russia? And I continuously tell them, no, but not from Russian people. I receive it from other expats. You see, coming into Russia, I never felt that I was strange or I was lesser than by Russian people. They welcomed me into their country. My wife's family, they are Russian. I came into the country and I felt extremely comfortable here. But the only times that I felt a hankering of uncomfortable nature was when another foreigner made me feel uncomfortable. Let's discuss the racism thing to begin with. People told me that Russia is the most racist country in the world before I came here. I looked on Google, it labeled Russia as the most racist place in the world. I came here, I saw the complete opposite. The locals were extremely welcoming, but the other expats were slightly racist. And I'll tell you my experiences, what I have endured. Being married to a Russian woman, I always thought maybe the Russian people possibly would not agree with it. Maybe they would come at me for marrying somebody of their own, which is a consistent and common thing when you have an interracial relationship. You should be prepared for locals not agreeing. It happens on the internet, of course. It happens to everyone. But I've never experienced it face to face. But when I go into public, I have seen other expats disgusted by the fact that I am walking around with a Russian woman because they classify African men as a lower class of expat. Africans, because of the color of their skin, are labeled as lower than, not by the Russian people. No, the Russian people welcome you into the country. Other expats who classify themselves as higher than because they come from a different country that they think is better, or perhaps they think that the country that they're from is more prominent than mine. I have received looks of disgust walking down the street with somebody that's not even my wife. Some of my interviewees that I've walked with, I've walked down the street and I've gotten disgusted looks. I've heard whispers, I've heard inklings of how somebody's walking with a monkey. How could this beautiful blonde woman be walking with a monkey? And it really put things into perspective because I feel like people are continuously going at Russian people when the expats are the people that are the actual problem. I have received nothing but care, love, affection. I have been welcomed into a country that is far from my own. It is completely different. It is in Eurasia, it is in Europe, wherever you want to classify it, because apparently Russia is not Europe. I'm African. I've come into a country that is completely different from my own. Perhaps we share the same values, but the people have welcomed me in as if I am no different, because Russia is a multinational country. It's multifaceted. You have different variations of people from different ethnic groups, and they're all under the bracket of Russian. They come together and they basically feel that patriotic feeling of being one. But with the expats, it's almost like there's a separation of who is more important or who is better just based on the color of their skin, or perhaps because of where they are from. Apart from receiving these looks, which of course do not affect me as much, because I would say that I am more concerned when my safety is in harm's way. I have not experienced anything violent. Also, I was in a restaurant and some of the waiters were expats. Same as me. Same expats. We are in the country for the same reason. We wanted a fresh start. And they were staring at me and taking pictures of me. The whole period of time that I was there in the restaurant, I was in the restaurant for at least 2 to 3 hours. They were taking pictures of me. I felt like a zoo animal, giggling while taking pictures. I've never received this kind of reception from Russian people, but from expats that have come into the country, same as me, it felt extremely strange to see people that are also foreign taking pictures. And even going back to the point of me marrying a Russian woman, right? I don't see how that is their problem, because let me be very frank. If there was a Russian person that was like, oh my God, you are taking all of the Russian women, I hate you for it. It's a bit of a strange statement, but I'll be like, okay, he's Russian. I get it. He's trying to maintain his traditions, his cultures. I get it. But I don't understand when another expat is pissed off that I'm with the Russian woman. We're both expats. These are not your people, you know? I'm not really a fan of not mixing. I am so into the idea and mindset of us coming together in a global circuit and mixing and matching. It's amazing. You get a lot of information. It's a good way to connect. But one thing that extremely confuses me, not the fact when locals don't want you to be with other locals, but when other expats are disgusted or are angry because you are with somebody that is fair-skinned. That is absolutely strange to me. And I'm still trying to process it. But back to the restaurant, I was at a birthday party and I was basically stared down. I got giggles. I heard inklings, whispers. I felt like a zoo animal. And keep in mind, I was surrounded by Russian people, Armenian people at a dinner table who made me feel normal. I don't even speak the language that well, but they were trying their best to engage with me, trying their best to make me feel comfortable. But the other expats in the kitchen that are supposed to be serving us and making us feel comfortable were making me feel uncomfortable, which is just absolutely insane. I won't say the exact nation that these people are from because I do not want to encourage separation. I'm just giving you an idea of the experiences that I have, because it seems like I come on here and I just talk about the positive parts of Russia. For me, any negativity which I have experienced is from some form of foreign entity. There's nothing in Russia itself that has made me feel uncomfortable that has come from Russian people. I think the craziest thing that I received is odd comments online. That is like, okay, I'm going to receive odd comments no matter where I go. Even my own people troll me on my YouTube channel, right? But in person, it's like a completely different scenario. So I have noticed that there is this idea and mindset that Africans in the expat community are lower than. We are not as prominent as expats that come from the first world countries or expats that come from anywhere else. There's like a hierarchy, and we're basically bottom of the barrel. I've had other expats feeling uncomfortable by my presence, slightly scared that I stood next to them. Not Russian people, other expats. And I don't know where this comes from. I don't know where this comes from because I feel like Russia is an extremely safe place. It does its background checks. It makes sure that the people coming into the country are extremely nice too. But I'm still there feeling slightly uncomfortable because some expats are feeling uncomfortable by my presence. So it becomes this whole cycle when we're kind of just staring each other down like, God, what is wrong with this person? And these hierarchies come in the form of many different things. It comes in the form of the dating world. It comes in the form of how people carry themselves. I have noticed that a lot of foreigners that come from first world countries feel like they are on top of the world. I've seen some of the most nasty, most irresponsible comments on my page, and also people talking face to face with me about what they think about Russian people, what they think about Russian women as well. This whole mindset of like, oh, I'm from this place, so it's so easy for me to pick up Russian women because I am from this place and I am so amazing. And of course, it's difficult for this person because they're from a lowly regarded country. You see what I mean? People actually come with this mindset of thinking that they are extremely incredible just because of where they're from. But we all kind of fall into the same barrel of fish. When we come in as expats, we go to the same visa place. When we're trying to get our visa renewed, we go through the same police checks. We have the same law that is basically cocooned over all of us. And we follow that under Russian legislation and law. There is no difference. But people come in and they think that they are sort of special and better than everybody else. So they say things like, oh, it's so easy for me to do what I want. Oh, Russian girls are easy. Oh, I am from so-and-so, so I am just the top of the barrel. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to learn the language. I don't have to put in the effort. I don't have to assimilate with the people because I am the top of the barrel. I am the top of the expats. And that just doesn't work. When you come to Russia, you are supposed to assimilate into society. I will never be for the idea of coming into a country and trying to change it. I will never be for the idea of trying to change a government that needs no changing. But people come into countries with this elitism mindset and think that they can change things, or people just play to the beat of their own drums. And that is ridiculous to me. You should be ashamed of yourself because you are basically a representation of your country. You come in, you degrade other expats for being from a certain place, for being from Africa, from being from a place that you classify as poor, dirty, uncomfortable, bottom of the barrel, instead of concentrating on assimilating into Russian culture. I know some people that have been here and can't even speak a lick of Russian. I am absolutely embarrassed. I won't even lie that I can't speak Russian the way I should speak Russian. I've only been here for almost a year. I'm trying my best. I know the basics. I can say blue, green, I can talk about something. I can ask for a cup of coffee, but I'm still not there yet. I can't have a proper conversations. When I sit at the dinner table, I feel absolutely terrible. And then you have these people that have been here for years and they're so in their head, feeling so special and feeling better than everyone else that they forget the main idea of why you came to a country and why you claim to love the country. You have to learn the language. You have to respect the people. You have to get to know the people that are around you. And that way you assimilate into Russian society. And people are so concerned with this whole hierarchy mindset and how other foreigners are less important or other foreigners are not as great because of where they're from, that they forget the main reason why Russia allows people into the country. Russia is a huge fan of multicultural exchange. It is. But at the same time, it also wants you to understand that you need to respect the people and you need to understand how the country works. The laws are very strict. you follow them, you do what you're supposed to do, and you respect the people. And a lot of the foreigners that I have met here don't respect the people. They come in here, they leave their values behind. You have a Russian wife or somebody else slaving away, providing for somebody who's from a first world country, right? And in his country, he has responsibilities, but he comes here and he doesn't. Where's the connect? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense how people can regard themselves so highly and not do what they have been doing in their country. So they come here and it's like almost like they relax and they're so busy picking apart people, trying to make them seem like lesser than, instead of focusing on what you're supposed to be focusing on. If you go to a foreign country, the first thing you need to do is to assimilate into the culture. It's not about forming a community and coming together and getting people from the same place and trying to get, this whole big bracket of the same people from the same place. It's about assimilating with the people. You need to get to know the people. And that's how you show respect to a country. Learn the language, learn about the culture, especially if you want to live there for the rest of your life. Some people come here on the shared value visa, but don't share the same values. And it is sad that Russia is such a beautiful, amazing country. I love it with all my heart. But then you have people that come in and make other expats feel uncomfortable. We're supposed to be together. We're supposed to combine, Irregardless of our race, where we're from, we're supposed to be together. And if you are one of those people and I have somehow bruised your ego or I have made you feel uncomfortable, there's a problem. You have a problem. Get to know the people, assimilate, stop concerning yourself with other expats, and just do what you're supposed to do. And if you found this video interesting, if you would like more content like this, sometimes I'm absolutely blunt, I promise. Some of my videos are a lot more lighthearted. But subscribe. You can also join the Telegram group. This was a gritty one, but it was nice to see you guys. And as always, we are roaring truths to preserve your pretty voice. Ciao.